It's up to you.
Hello, everyone. We're Ukraine group coming on Fridays from Marshall University, West Virginia, covering weekly the witness events of Russia's war in Ukraine. As everyone knows from the news, the tide is turning. Everyone is very optimistic, maybe sometimes overly optimistic, but we keep our presence here every Friday, and we bring speakers from all over the world. Academics, witnesses, expats, refugees, people directly from Ukraine. Last 2 weeks, we had a lot of information about the city of Kharkiv, and today and next week also we'll have information on Odessa from Eyewitnesses. I give microphone now to my colleague Anara Tabashalieva for greetings to our viewers in Russian. Please, Anara.
Hello, добро пожаловать на нашу дискуссию. Пожалуйста, присоединяйтесь к нашей еженедельной дискуссии. Вы можете найти нас на YouTube, Facebook и веб-сайте Маршалл университета. И если у вас есть какие-то комментарии, вопросы, пожалуйста, присылайте нам. Спасибо.
Thank you, Anara. And today I would like to introduce our speaker for today. His name is Mykola Konopinsky. He joined us live, as always, from Germany. He is native of Odessa, a beautiful port on the Black Sea, historical city. Part of my own family is also from there. It was the city where I first in my life saw any kind of a sea. Odessa is extremely important in history, and for the last 30 years, of course, as a history of independent Ukraine. Mykola is native of Odessa, as I said. It is largely a Russian-speaking city. It personifies numerous issues and questions and problems of history. Dr. Konopinsky visited Odessa in wartime this spring, and he will tell us about this. Thank you and welcome. Mykola, please start your presentation and your story.
Okay, thank you very much, Victor. So first of all, I would like to say thank you very much, all of you, for your invitation. I am very proud to be part of your project. And a special thank I would like to say for Victor for his remarkable persistence to push me to get part of this project. Thank you, Victor. And now I would like to give you some introduction in what I'm saying. First of all, I have prepared a beautiful text in English, almost without mistakes. But if I try today to make this presentation with this text, I realize it doesn't work. It cannot work because I cannot read the text and comment the pictures and show the pictures. So then I will try to just to give some comments to my pictures without any huge literature text. So the first point, the second point, the language I use is English. It's maybe surprising for you, but it's just my English. If do you think or do you feel that I am wrong with some words or points or whatever, just feel free to interrupt me every moment and correct me or stay your questions. You're welcome. And now I would like to briefly introduce you into my reasons to get this journey in April and May these years. The first reason was personal, as well as the second one too, as well. But the first reason was after the 24th of February, I cannot work, I cannot eat, I cannot sleep, so I cannot leave. So frankly, I thought, as maybe all of us, that Ukraine can stay maybe for 4 or 5 weeks. So this thought make me, kill me, just kill me. And another one reason was, so I tried to get out of this situation and try to help volunteers here to pick up some medicine or money or whatever, but it doesn't help. I feel I have to go to Ukraine and see with my own eyes what has happened over there. So the second reason was, and as you for sure remember, after in the April, in the second half of April, if Ukrainian army threw away that Moscowitz army from north and northeast of Ukraine, there was a rumors or information that this army, Moscowitz army, will pick up in come to south and east and concentrate in the two goals, Donetsk region and Odessa. So, and I thought that's it's maybe my last possibility, last chance to see my my city, my friends, my family. So, and then I decided to get this journey. So, and so let's dive in, as a small boy said, opening Cuckoo's clock. The first station was Kyiv. It's just, I will show you only 2 pictures of Kyiv, just to get a feeling what is a different I saw, I faced between Kyiv and Odessa. So I come to Kyiv from Przemysl in Poland, and Przemysl was full. It was Easter Sunday. It's full with people, and the railway station was full with refugees, or thousands of people. And then the train to Kyiv was full as well. And then I come to Kyiv railway station and was surprised how empty it is. This was only no civilians, only military or policemen and women with Kalashnikovs. And if I ask it for information, for example, how can I get to this place or another one? The first, I have to show my papers and explain my reason to be here. It was very, very surprised. And then I come to metro station, and it was also empty. I was, my papers was checked 2 times in metro station, and above and down. And then on the Teatralna station, it's the deepest one in Kyiv. It's about 70 meters deep. So, and the escalator is maybe 100 meters long. And I was alone in this escalator, in this tunnel. It was very, very, strange. And from Teatralna station to Maidan Nezalezhnosti, as you can see on the picture. The old people I met, I can count on the old finger of my hand, one hand. But what was surprising as well is very interesting. The traffic light was working, still working. It was no cars, no pedestrians, no people, and traffic lights working. It's just a science fiction movie, you know, after the nuclear attack or aliens attack or I don't know, death, illness, something like this, you are alone in the whole city who survived. So you can see now it's Monday noon, Maidan Nezalezhnosti. You can count how many people you can see here. I counted 11. 3 of them, it's a military man on the checkpoints. So it only 8 civilians on the street. But in this picture, it's something more than you can catch with eyes. There is about it, and for me, it's just showing the whole situation in the Ukraine on those days. There is 2,500 till 3,000 people behind these trees. You see, on this, on the left of the picture. They are waiting for famous post stamp, Russian warship, go fuck yourself. So you cannot see this people, but they are still here, and they are. So there's in behind of what happens, and they support. For me, it's not directly, but it's showing the whole situation I saw next day in Odessa. And the next picture is this one, is entrance in the metro station Krishchatik. It was a days the first reports of Bucha massacre come public. So now we go to Odessa, and here I come from empty Kyiv to Odessa at 6 in the morning, Tuesday, 6 in the morning, and I was surprised for the first seconds to step in Odessa ground. The railway station was full with alive, with sounds, with people. And it was not a refugee, it was not a military. I have seen no one military man or policeman. It was a people just looking for next train, for buses going from left to left, from right to left, sorry, and vice versa. But this war is still here. You go out from the railway station and Kulikovaya Pole. It's a square near the railway station. You can see a huge concrete blocks and military men around them. But the first surprising was I faced it in Rishilevskaya Street. It was suddenly for my face was a huge wall of the water. It was a different kind of packages of water. The bottle, 1 liter, 3 liter, 5 liter, 8 liters. It's yeah. There was the whole sidewalk, and this wall was more than 2 meters tall. So I didn't know what it's all about, and asked the one man close to me, and he tell me it's water for Nikolaev. The problem was that Nikolaev has since 1 month no water, drink water anymore, because Moscowitz destroyed that water collection system in water delivery system in Nikolaev, and but Nikolaev is the last point between Kherson and Odessa. Between Nikolaev and Odessa, it's about 100 kilometers, and it's only steppe. It's nothing else. There is no forest, no rivers, no mountains. So it means if Nikolaev fall, then Moscowitz tanks will be within 2 or 3 hours in Odessa, and then we will get a problem. And that's because Odessits pick up the water for Nikolaev. And then you can see it's another one. It's a small one point for pick up the water. Some volunteers organization. You can see here to read that it's water and Easter cakes, Pascha. For it was 3 days before Pascha, Easter, Orthodox Easter holiday. So, and then I asked this volunteer, the beautiful girl Olga, I asked whether I can go with them to Nikolaev just to see situation in the Nikolaev. And he called some bosses, I don't know, some friends, and I got permission. And the next day at 6 in the morning, I met this guys. You can see it's Michael, the leader of this volunteer team, and that's in one private yard in Odessa, somewhere in north of Odessa, in direction of Nikolaev. That water was here stored for Nikolaev, and this bus we goes to Nikolaev with 2 such buses. In one we are 5 people with driver, and in another one was the water and food for Nikolaev. Is on the road to Nikolaev we spoke, not we, but the guys exchanged stories, war stories. The driver, for example, of this bus and owner of this bus coming from in vicinity of Kherson, and he was just a moment. I have to have a look at this word. It's new for me. What is this? He was a beekeeper, and he has I don't know how many bee families with the whole. It was his job. But if Moscowitz came, they destroyed all his possession, all these bee houses, and threw him and his child and wife and mother from house, and he have to sleep, and took away both cars of him, the small car and this bus, and he have to sleep in one night in such barn, I think, such small house in the garden without a heating. And just to remind you, it was a February. It was minus 10 or 15 centigrades. So it doesn't wonder that some in the night hours or very early hours, he took his family and his bus and go away. So he cannot go to Odessa directly, but to Zaporizhia, and then from Zaporizhia to Odessa. It's another guy in this bus was Alex. He comes from Kharkiv, and tell a story of his father. His father is farmer, and while he worked on his field, he was attacked from Russia, from Moscow's artillery. So, and now he's in very hard situation in the hospital of Kharkiv. So, and while I heard this story, but the cell phone of Mikhail doesn't stop to ring. And so I have impression that the whole Nikolaev would like to have water from him. But the most impressive was one dialogue. So I heard actually only monologue, but it was a dialogue with one military man directly from front line, and he asked for water too. But the problem was he don't dare to give his location. So they try to get a solution from this, to get solution for this situation, and then they was agree. This military man was sent one or two soldiers to one of the villages close to his position, and they give the address of these villages, and Mikhail will send the next bus with the water, full with water for this military team to this village. So the next slide, you can see it's all what we get to Nikolaev. It's in the plastic bags, it's Easter cakes and spaghetti, potatoes, everything, flour, sugar, everything you need, actually, and a lot of water. And then that's a picture, the Mikhail with refugees, and you can see it's only women and child. It's only 2 men. So that's and at the breakfast room, and this Alex, this organization, it's how can call it? It's Evangelian church. It's not Evangelical church. It's not very common in Ukraine, I presume. I don't know. And so the plan was to give Christian worship in this shelter also. So that's a Christian worship. This Alex is a diacon of this church, and I was very surprised. Maybe few US people, it's not very surprising, but for me, it was surprising that it was a lot of music and a lot of songs, and all songs was in rock rhythm. You know, it's just like a concert. But the people was very happy with this, and so they make it everything with this Alex. So there is a picture. I think nothing to comment in this picture. Just look at the faces of these children. There is in this shelter go on with the classes, because it's April. The kids should proceed with the lessons in the school. So now we see it's mathematics. There's only three boys with the same ages, and they have a exercise. So the next point is about how culture work. Oh no, that's not a culture. It's just about the volunteer organization. Call it Odessa. What is it? As it is. So that this organization, my friend, a friend of mine, took me one day to this organization, and they occupied the whole ground floor of school in Odessa and basement. So now you can, and it's very, very, how can I put it? It's a good order. It's very good organized. Everything in here in this. It's a huge amount of things and refugees and so on, but everything go very, very quick and very, yeah, very good. So you can see as a grocery department, and the men here and the picture on the left pick up such a plastic bag. The plastic bag you can see in the middle here. That's everything one family need for the next 1 or 2 days. On this yellow sheet of paper, you can see, you cannot read it, the name of the family, the number of people and number of children, and the ages of children, because it's very important. It's depend of these ages will be put the food, yeah, then according to these ages. And now on the right side we are in basement. In basement, it's you can see it's a huge amount of water. It's water for Nikolaev as well. Again, but most important is this guy. His name is Andrew, and he is from New Zealand. He came to Odessa in the first war days for his own money, just to get a part of Ukrainian people fighting against the Moscovites. And now I can tell you, I have a lot of story. I have heard a lot of story in Odessa about the sailors from ships in Odessa port. They're blocked in Odessa port and cannot go out. And these sailors joined to volunteer organization in Odessa, and even in the Ukrainian army or in the territorial defense organization. So it's, I think it's very interesting. So now we are in pharmacy department. It was also very important for me to to get information from here. These two beautiful girls take care about all things that come from outside, and they check every package and sort them. Because why it's important for me, before I come to Odessa in German, I have heard the rumors that I emphasize it's only rumors. I have no evidences for such things, but the rumors was that some German people and even organization try to send to Ukraine drugs with a date of the best of day out. So then I ask these girls if they have some experience with this one, and the answer was clear: no. We check every package and every drugs, everything we get from, not only from Germany, but all over the world is absolutely correct and okay. So on the picture on the right, you can see, so I was very proud to see that, everything I saw here, but I think it's about maybe 90%. It's things from made in Germany. So, and I feel very proud for my new country, homeland. But I thought in the same time, maybe it's a good idea if German governments send to Ukraine more arms and tanks and rockets. Maybe in this case, they shouldn't send so much medicine. Who knows? I don't know. So, and on the picture on the right side, you can see this these bags with a red cross. It's handmade. That's all of them have been sewed by volunteers, ladies, and feel here with drugs for soldier in the front. So it's a hygiene department as well. And on the picture before, there is almost everything made in Germany. Yeah, and what is interesting here? It's many things. The first one, this red bag, this red package with a wash powder. This huge package doesn't need anyone here. So the volunteers will open it and separate for small portions for 1 or 2 washing for family, because next day the family will get some flat or transfer to another one city in the West Ukraine or in the abroad. And so they do this work. And here you can see it's a classroom, the blackboard, and if you zoom closer, you will see in this sheet of papers, it's an exercise for small kids to write the letters. So it's very impressive situation to see what is with the school happened now in this wartime. So housekeeping department, it's everything you wish you can find here. The chairs and electric chairs and shoes, and even if you see here, even it's a forecourt here. So the next slide shows, oh, I like it. I like it. It's more important department. These two ladies make sandwiches and salads and cafes and teas for volunteers, just for small break. And the all staff they need for salads, for sandwiches and bacon, butter, bread, and so on, they bought by themselves every day, fresh, and again for their own money. And what is you cannot see that on the picture. The lady in blue blues, his name is Olga, and this Olga is native of Moscow, but he came, I don't know, 20 years ago, maybe, to Odessa, and now he's become to volunteer to. And here I would like to stop for 1 minute and tell you something what is you cannot see on the picture. It's just happened behind the picture. Every day for this, it's not only volunteers here, it's not only refugees, but every day come a barber, for example, every day cut the hair and shaved and help what he can for volunteers, not for refugees. For refugees, they can get it everywhere in such a help in Odessa for free. But for volunteers, as come every day, come physician therapist and make a massage and help, because it's they tell me volunteers working with heavy packages, and it's a lot of muscle work, and they get a problem with joints and with their backs. So they need this help. And then there is a lot of taxi driver comes to help to transfer the refugees, and so on and so on. It's again, it's restaurants in vicinity deliver the hot meal for volunteers. Refugee will get separately hot meals meal in this school. So it's a lot of people involved. And now you can see again the picture of this of some of them who just help. You can see, oh, it's the next slide, I'm sorry. So if you want to help, you can see here it's a connection to bank's account in euro and US dollars. And this organization, I don't know why, got a new name. It's no more Odessa as it is. Now it's a new town, and you can visit on this site. So now we go to the next volunteers work or job. We are now in the World Club of Odessites. That's a humanitarian organization just to keep together the people from Odessa in all of the world. every Saturday, sorry, every Saturday this organization give a concert or exhibitions or something else, and just to present the culture of Odessa, and not only from Odessa, of Odessa, and pick up the money for refugees, for army, for territorial defense of Odessa. You can see it's. I was only in one concert, and the picture is from this concert. You see that it's a president, Georgy Barats. So may I say it's the main Odessits in over the world, and he gave 5 body armors for the chief officer of territorial defense of Odessa. It's before the concert. Now come the concert. In this evening, we have got a solist of Odessa Opera. And so I don't give the name of this soloist, but just believe me, all of them have European or even the world names. They are singing in New York and Milan and Berlin and London. So, and there's Chamber Sextet of Opera House of Odessa. And if you somebody know, maybe not, in close to Deribasovska in Odessa, we have a so-called Knizhka. It's Knizhka, it's at the book market. And in this book market, from the first day of the war, there is an exhibition of anti-war pictures, drawings, and so on. That's a few example placement of these pictures. Roman Bonchuk, Ivano-Frankivsk. That's the works of student of Odessa University. And it's just on the this Knizhka. You can see this anti-tank Hedgehog, and you see that Jesus with his father support the Ukrainian army. It's ordinary fascism. There is no comment here. And that's the picture of international exhibition in the World Club of Odessa. You can see it's the picture of France, Polish, and I don't know, Zubov. It's maybe even Moscovian or Ukraine. I don't know. It's again. And this picture, it's very, very, oh, what is this? It's very impressive picture on the right side. You cannot see it, you can read it because it's too small, but the text is going like this. The author is Alexei Say. Sorry, Alexei, that we did not have time to ask you for the right of use, because a project arose spontaneously within a day. I hope it's okay for you. So it's for me just a picture of all situation I saw in Odessa. That it's no one man or one woman or one family or whatever. it's a new nation that's all together stay against this aggression and against this this war, and just for the final victory. So that it's not now it's not a matter of right of everyone. IP rights, it's something for peacetime. Yeah, and everyone, there is a concert on balcony, the concert on the streets, the performance on the streets, everything for free, everything to just to pick up money for help for Ukrainian army, for Ukrainian refugees, and so on. So I think, yeah, that's all from my side. It was all in English. I hope you have no problem with my English, and so I am excited for your questions. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Mykola. Your English was perfect, and we could
You're very gracious for me.
not only understand everything, but we enjoyed it highly. It was very sophisticated presentation. You covered so much, very exquisite, exhaustive. You covered so many things there from all walks of life, and I'm sure that we can talk. I know that you are tired, but we should ask some questions and talk more to you for the benefit of our viewers, because not very often we have someone who visited the wartime city that looks so alive, so vibrant, and people who definitely help do anything. Your pictures with people bringing water to areas short of water in Mykolaiv is absolutely astonishing, not even mentioning the children's faces. I'm sure that I was crying when I saw this. Many were, and many will. I hope others will see your presentation as well. Stefan writes in chat that Stefan is our friend and professor of English. Thank you so much for your wonderful talk. It's also helpful and frustrating to hear Ukrainians in Germany comment on the often bumbling attempts of the German government to assist. Stefan is originally from Germany. He teaches English in America. Thank you, Stefan. And I know that Mykola lives in Germany for many years, and that was one of my future questions, or anyone can ask first-hand impression of whether the tide is turning against Putin verstehers. But that's another question to prepare. But first, I again want to thank you, because Odessa means so much in life of millions of Americans. I share with them of Ukrainian, Russian, or Jewish ethnic origins whose ancestors came from Odessa, just like my father was born there. And many realize now their connection to the city, which has absolute importance. I don't think we have any analogy. I don't think we have any analogy to Odessa in the history of this region, because people may not know that Russian Empire had 3 capitals, and only one of them was the free city on the warm sea. Moscow and St. Petersburg were 2 imperial capitals, but the third one was Odessa, at some time even tax-free for merchants, Porto Franco, in old times. And it was it was actually that chance for the Northern Empire to be opened into Europe, chance which they always wanted to pursue aggressively and do it right now as we speak. They will not win. And your example, your story shows us all how Ukrainian people are now one nation, whatever language or religion they have, or ethnic background, how they are one people fighting this aggression, not only for themselves, but for the entire world. Because this really, to many of us, for 6 months, over 6 months here, looked from the very beginning as fight of good versus evil, light versus darkness, and the last chance of European civilization against the aggression and dictatorship that they basically unfinished work from last 100 years. Thank you. Any questions, please, from the panel and the viewers? Join me with questions. Anara, Larry, Stefan, please join in. As people are listening, and yes, Anara, please.
I have a question. You have your particular view what is happening, because it's very, very important to hear voices from the ground. What do you my question, what should be done in order to rebuild Ukraine? What should be first? What should be second done
To
in
rebuild.
the near future, and in the future in general?
It's my private opinion. The first step is Ukraine get part of NATO. Without this help, without this defense, this to be part of NATO, there is will be never peace of on this territory, in this country, because we have here a border of 2 absolutely different cultures. It's a huge mistake to think that Moscow belongs to European culture just because the Peter the First 250 years ago just learned them to read and to count and to get a mathematic and so on and so on. They got then a part of European literature, for example, or science or music, but it's only fruits that come up from the absolutely no suitable ground for these fruits. So again, if we will rebuild the Ukraine, and if you will plan to get the peace in this part of Europe, we have Ukrainian have to become the part of NATO, and then we will build this country for a normal European country. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you very much, Mykola. Do we have any more questions from the panel or viewers, please? You can ask them in chat. You can ask them in voice.
Teresa has a question.
Yes, please, Teresa. You can ask by voice or type it in chat.
I asked in chat already, but I can ask it at voice.
Yes, please.
It's no problem. I'd like to know if you plan to visit Odessa again in near future, or is it too dangerous now?
Yes. Thank you very much. It's a great question. I will go to Odessa as soon as I can, and so it doesn't matter over the wartime, just proceed or not. But if I get a chance, it's I have to work. I have to stay here. I have to earn my money for this journey. But if I will get a chance, I will go to Odessa. Yes, it was a very surprising for me. I was last time I was visiting Odessa 11 years ago, 2011, and so I was surprised. I was surprised by everything what I saw in what I faced in Odessa. Yes, I will go definitely. Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mykola. Do we have any more questions? Please prepare them while I ask my question. Many of our listeners and viewers probably will not be familiar with the term you use. I noticed that you use the term Moscovite or Muscovite instead of saying Russian. And I know that this usage was not lately wide. We still kind of are confused on what to call Russian identity, Russian state, Russian aggression. Many people advise me on this panel and in other contexts to say Putin's aggression. But this is too easy to blame everything on the mad dictator. And this also shows some very unfortunate attitude that when a dictator is gone, then everything gets back to normal. We know that even in Germany it wasn't so easy. And we both know it will not be as easy in Russia or whatever will become of this territory. So I know that you use word Muscovite in a specific term to emphasize the difference between cultures that you just told us about. Can you tell us more? We both are native Russian speakers. We both were born in Ukraine, so it is complicated for many viewers to see the connections and allegiances and loyalties in this situation. Can you tell us more about these issues, specifically about Odessa? Because we are told first of all, by Moscow media, we are always told that Odessa and even other cities are, Kherson, are Russian cities because they speak mostly Russian in the cities. We are told that Kyiv was predominantly Russian-speaking city, and it becomes very confusing for the foreigners.
Okay, thank you very much, Victor. It's a great question, but I have first question on you. Do you have plan for this weekend? Do you plan something to do? Because if I start to explain my position at this question, we need maybe next week.
Well, we can schedule a conference, of course.
No. I will try. I will try to explain you in few words. But it's a very huge, very huge tema. Just the word Russian and Russia and so on. It's has the same age as the Russian culture. It's started at 1721 with Peter I ukaz about the ground of establish of Russian Imperia. The word come from Rus, and Rus was a Kyiv. And why Peter dare do something like this to own this word? It's because of about 70 years, Kyiv was occupied by Muscovites. Before the 1721, there was no Russia. You cannot find them. It's only Moscovite, Tsaren, Moscovitz, and so on and so on. So now, after 1991, there is no reason to call this country Russia, because Kyiv become his independence again. So we have go back and to call this this country. It's logical. It's from a science point of view, it's absolutely correct. It's my point again. I'm only a man. That's yeah, and to call them that quite different questions about the Russian speaking people and the people who calls himself Russian. It's again, it's a huge problem. Yeah, we cannot speak about the Russian nation. There is no nation in this country. It's clear. But we have to meet them with with understanding and with yeah, because they just exist, and they call that about 40 millions or 50 millions Russians, but everyone is either Chechenian or Ukrainian or Moldovan or whatever. Yeah, the Moscovian itself is the smaller than Moscow Oblast today, much smaller. So it's not a lot of Moscovits itself and Russians. So it's so I have no solution for this problem. Just to be frankly with you.
Thank you. This is well explained, or rather a good start place to start discussions, because it is very unfamiliar issue. This historical context is very unfamiliar for the foreigners, who tend obviously to name empires and other entities by the name of their historical rulers. And we made so often, as you remember, back in Soviet Union growing up, we would call Irish English, which can bring you to a fight not only in Ireland or England. So for us, Great Britain and England were synonyms, just like for most foreigners, Soviet Union and Russia were.
Or Holland and Netherlands.
For me, it's still, are they different?
Yeah.
Well, I hope no Flemish are listening. Thank you. But I know from personal information, from personal discussions, how much you are into this topic, how much you promote the differences and all the details of those issues. It's far from easy. But that's what we call in America complexities of identities. We even teach this classes called this way. So I'm sure that in this panel and in other contexts, we will hear much more about complexities of identities, starting especially in Ukrainian context today, why so many people who live in Ukraine are Ukrainian citizens, today consider themselves Ukrainian 100%, and for many, it is a point where they start learning literally Ukrainian language, which they don't know well and never wanted even to know. We have amazing historical process in front of us, which happens much faster than anything in European history. We observe the formation of Ukrainian nation and dissolution of Moscovia. And we hope to live to see at least some results of these historical processes. Any more questions, please? Well, if we don't, I would ask you to say something to our viewers as a conclusion, and maybe a few words in whatever language you choose to friends in Odessa and Ukraine in general. Can you say a few words to our viewers who view us in recording in Ukraine?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Вы можете сказать что-то приветствие нашим зрителям в Украине и в Одессе? Можно на украинском. Лучше, конечно, на украинском.
Я бажаю якомога швидшої перемоги. Що ще можна казати в цей час, коли гинуть люди, коли ракети летять на наші міста? Ми повинні залишатися там, де ми є, і робити все, що якомога більше до нашої перемоги. То наша перша ціль, і як не буде перемоги, не буде нас. Не буде наших людей, нашої нації, не буде нашої культури, не буде нічого. Як ви чуєте, що каже той, як його забуваю, такий маленький такий, плешивий, Путін. То він каже, що нас немає на світі, що ми погані русські, що нас за 8 років 40 мільйонів людей зробили фашистами. Це навіть не зміг навіть Гітлер в Німеччині. За такий короткий срок 40 мільйонів зробити фашистами. Тож тримаємося, браття, і все буде Україна.
Слава Україні!
Героям слава!
Thank you, Mykola. I will summarize briefly for the Ukrainian address for our viewers in English. Dr. Konopinsky greets his countrymen and says that the victory is the only way. And someone, a very small man in Moscow, thinks that in 8 years, 40 million Nazis emerged in Ukraine, and this couldn't be done even by Hitler. But what Putin did and what his aggression did obviously created Ukrainian nation, even made it stronger than it was, and solidified everything. Thank you to the heroes. Thank you to everyone who works for victory. And we are very proud to host Mykola Konopinsky today, speaking to us from Germany. Thank you from my friends and viewers and students of Marshall University in West Virginia. We're coming every Friday online. Glory to Ukraine. Glory to the heroes. God save Ukraine. God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.